can say
no,
so
I'm
much. So.
engaged. I thought you said, "Are you ready?" But I couldn't.
No,
Nah, he was
no,
talking to me.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
no.
because I
I
didn't hear
said
nothing. I
Brent.
heard a pause, and I
Oh, he
was
said
like,
Brent. My bad. My
Yeah.
bad. Go
"You
ahead, Brent.
know."
No, but I'm saying I thought you had said something earlier. I thought you was about to say something earlier.
No, no. I was listening to you. I was listening to Rock, and I mean, I think y'all hit on some points. I think what happens is you don't you don't get the lesson till much after. You know what I mean? After a lot of reflection, and I think is what you do in between the time of the heartbreak and that time when you get the lesson. To me, that part of time is when you could cause a lot of damn chaos, and I see
Right,
a lot of people doing it every day. You know
right,
what I mean? They just haven't got the lesson of that last relationship, and they maybe be entering new relationships, causing a lot of damage, or they could um, reflect something off them that's just, I mean, it's discouraging to other people, when it comes to relationships, and I just encourage people to monitor yourself in between that heartbreak and when you got that lesson, when everything comes, full circle, and you understand that relationships are just difficult. And sometimes it's not so much the other person was a bad person and you was a good person and good guys and villains. Sometimes it's just, y'all met each other in a very complicated season. You know what I mean? In which things are going on for you, things was going on for them. Sometimes the only time you could be with someone is during a bad season, because y'all, you talk about compatibility, because y'all share equal, traumatic experiences, and that's the yoke to the relationship. But when someone overcomes that, now you're unequal. You're not equally yoked anymore. You know what I mean? And sometimes a person is only good for you during the good season. You know what I mean? You and that person, y'all could, y'all compatible when it comes to that. And I think that the task for everybody is finding someone you could be compatible with in both seasons. If that makes any sense. I don't know. I mean, does that make sense to y'all?
it does, but at the same time, I guess for many years I tried to understand this whole season thing that people throw around. This whole season word. I don't believe in that, bro. I don't believe in that, bro. Season is for the weather, bro. If you come in and you seek and destroy people's lives, bro, that's not a season, bro.
And what I'm saying,
Uh-uh.
JJ,
I'm not
I'm
saying
not.
you. I'm not saying you. I'm saying mm, throughout my life, I've heard this word so many times, and I think it's a comfort. It's a comfort word. I think the word is there to comfort a person in the time of pain and agony. You know, my uncle, God rest his soul, um, was married 16, 17 years to the woman that he met in high school. Well, hope my dad don't get mad at this, but um, my dad, m- m- my my uncle's wife left him and took his kids with him. Um, and he drunk himself. He drunk himself, bro. Whenever my dad, whenever they rushed him to the hospital, bro, he whispered to my dad, as my dad older brother, whispered to him and said, "Hey man, go to my house, clean my house up. Don't let my kids see my house." And my dad said when he went down to his house, it was nothing but vodka bottles all over the place. And the doctor said that my uncle liver was small and hard like a brick. And and he told my dad before he died, he said, "Man, I dropped myself to death because I could never get over my wife leaving me." So whenever people say seasons, bro, I I guess me seeing a man that was big and strong become weak and frail and on his dying bed, and he done tried to date other women and he don't try to get over it, but it was never like that one right there. And now he gone from the earth behind alcohol.
And JJ, what I meant by seasons is that, I mean, I could tell you for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, that I'm a totally different guy now than I was 6 months after my divorce. You get what I'm saying? And if I was to meet a woman, like, just say, if okay, I'm divorced, I meet a woman that's divorced. What we have in common, we both going through heartbreak. And maybe during that time we're helping each other heal, or whatever case may be, or maybe one of us is healing and one of us is not. You know what I mean? But we get to a point where the person is, one person is saying that, hey, we, this was cool when, we were hurting, bleeding every night, talking about our past hurt, but now we gotta do something. We gotta move, and maybe the other person ain't ready to advance. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that you can meet people in certain places in their life that they're just not equipped for the relationship you may want. And
Hey,
I call that where you're in, like, you're in two different seasons. But some people forego those signs and choose to pair up anyway, and they deal with the consequences afterward.
I ask you this, JJ. What if what if you come across a woman that you like, she likes you or whatever, and for whatever reason, it is determined that you guys are incompatible for some reason, right? Incompatible, right? What do you do when you reach that crossroad? And then what does that relationship represent as you move on?
But you just said the key. Y'all determine. Y'all determine. That means both of you feel the same way, right?
What if it's just you feel like she's incompatible and she feel like you the man of her dreams?
You got to be truthful, bro. But Rob, but this all comes, bro. Everything we talking about comes with maturity,
Absolutely.
and see that's why I say a lot of people use a lot of comfort words. But let's just be real. You got some fucked up people out here, bro.
But I
That
think
seek
season.
that seek and destroy.
Well, I think the
They seek
season.
and destroy.
I think the word seasons are used in lieu of things like temporary, because temporary doesn't sound as elegant as I'm in your life for a season, and then say I'm in your life temporarily. You know what I mean? Temporarily seems like almost premeditated to a certain
But but
extent. Whereas
but see,
season, it seems like
temporary.
it faded in and it faded out. You don't understand what
But
I'm talking about?
you know what, Rock? But temporary. If we using these words, temporary could be 20 years. A season could be 20 years.
Absolutely.
So that's why I be like, man, like I don't use these words because whatever it was, it was real serious to somebody. It may have been a temporary thing to this person, but to this person, it was everything.
That's
What
why
you
I
got to
said.
say, bro?
That's why I said earlier. I think sometimes in these fair relationship you do lose a piece of yourself. What end up happening is, like Brent said, when you go through that breakup or that divorce, right? and you're dealing with all these emotions, you can gain that part of yourself back. But a lot of times it end up being better than when you went into that situation, right? You ever hear people say, "Oh, man, my man with this chick, bruh, and he not even himself no more." Because you lose some of you. You might lose your joy or your ability to make people laugh, and you just a shell of yourself. And then once you remove yourself from that situation, whether it's by choice or force, right? Then you in a place where you in an uncomfortable situation where you got to kind of start over, right? You got to kind of rebuild yourself. When you go through a divorce, man, you got to start over financially, emotionally, all that stuff, man. But you got to keep it. You got to keep yourself in a certain place if you got kids, right? So you go through that rebuilding phase, man. It's like a rebrand. Like, you ever seen companies, man? They go through a rebranding phase, like a new grand reopening, because they get under new management or whatever. So it's something like that, right? And it happens. You know what I'm saying? So we
But
actually talked about this last night, and in my experience, right? And I was talking to somebody in a room that frequent a room with us, and I was telling him, I was like, bro, going through a divorce, and my advice to him was, I wouldn't even date. I wouldn't date. I would focus on me. The reason why I told him that, because I didn't do that. I was trying to get out here and hit the streets running, and trying to sleep that pain away with other women, or you trying to be around other women to get rid of that pain or to sweep it on the rug. And that ain't, bro, it backfires in the end, right? So if you take time to yourself, whether that's focusing on going back to school, you hit the gym, you focus on your kids, whatever it is, you focus on something, right? And just go through that pain, because you're going to go through it. However long that take, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 6 months, it don't matter. You got to go through it, right? Once you go through that and you get some type of mental clarity, then you can start moving forward with the dating. But I think a lot of times, I'm going to speak for men, some of us, we make that mistake of jumping out there too early. And what end up happening is you really not emotionally available for whatever woman you dealing with. You can only give her the physical, and y'all know what I mean by that, right? So you giving her this physical, she falling for you and everything like that. And then when it start getting real, you pull back. Now you done hurt somebody's feelings because you wasn't being honest. You know what I'm saying? Or taking time to yourself just to heal. So that's what I do think people lose a piece of themselves. Women do it all the time. You ever seen a woman cut her hair after a relationship? She going through something serious with her dude. She cut her hair, or they start getting in the gym, and they start losing all that weight.
You ever seen a man? You
said
ever seen a man cut his beard off?
what?
He already bald head.
But yeah, people, man, it's signs there, man. People do it all the time.
But Drewski, as you talked about rebuilding and rebranding, you brought something up to my that I've seen over the years, being that I walk past the gym pretty frequently most of my life, right? And what happens to guys specifically when they're going through emotional pain, I see how sometimes they redirect that pain and they turn to fitness or maybe even a healthier lifestyle or something like that to cope with the pain that they're dealing with. And I often see these guys, right, for whatever reason. I don't know if it's the weights, I don't know if it's the process or whatever. They become a better version of themselves. So I would hate to say that a man lost something in a past relationship when he gained so much going through the process of healing. You know what I mean? So though I think it's impactful. I think the discomfort of being hurt, the discomfort of a failed relationship I think it puts you in a space where either you can do what unfortunately JJ's uncle did to himself, where completely, get on a cycle of, possibly destructive behavior, or you can channel that hurt and use it to propel you to greatness or even just being a better version of yourself. And so I'm just saying, I've just seen that up close with dealing with guys, and a lot of the guys not only are dealing with women problems in that time frame, they dealing with money problems. And and their the gym becomes their recreation. The guys that they work out with becomes their extended family, and you see the growth week after week, month after month, year after year, after going through that traumatic experience. And most of them, most of every guy that went through that process that I've seen, eventually found a healthy relationship to be a part of.
Yeah,
And go
Rock,
ahead.
Rock. I think what's lost, Rock, is that you find yourself through every heartbreak, you find yourself less willing to give at that same extent again. You know what I mean?
That's where that Brent.
Yeah, I think I think
Okay, okay, okay.
we put ourselves in a position where we're less. And you could say where we're not so naive. You know, we start to lose that I don't know, that fantasy that we had what a relationship should be like. You know, I think that, like, after heartbreak, you start to lose that will to want to give when when in all actuality, that's what great relationships are built off. Two people who are willing to give to one another. You know what I mean?
That is.
So I think that I think you so it's like, it takes time, I think, for people to get themselves back into a position in which, I'm willing to give selflessly, and I'm a hope for the best.
Yeah.
And I think that's a mindset people gotta have. And we like to be very, I think we go in the world and we try to be very cautious of our giving. You know what I mean? When when I like to think we're hurting ourselves when we do that,
I,
because I mean you gotta be willing to give.
Well,
What
I
you
think I, I I think you got to be willing to give, Brent. But I think going in with eyes wide open, even though some excitement related to it, there's some uncertainty that goes along with it. But I think the wisdom that you gain and the caution that you proceed with is natural, and it's probably in your best interest to protect yourself if you're completely healed. Now, again, if you're dealing with somebody that's doing it as a defense mechanism, right? Then you may not be dealing with a healed person. Then you're dealing with somebody that's responding to hurt. But if a
You
person
wouldn't
is
know though.
you're right, you're right.
I mean,
right,
But
right.
you don't
I
know.
mean, both of y'all are pretty much saying what goes on.
Uh huh.
I
Yeah.
just I just don't want to hear no success stories when you got people that are going through this right now, because I got texts right now of people, Amen and Brent and Amen and you. You know what I'm saying?
I
Um,
The process is ugly, JJ. The process is
I
real ugly when you're trying to get over hurt, right?
right,
The process is ugly. Matter of fact, you know, it's something that you know uh, all the men on this panel, for better or for worse, we all been divorced at some point or another, and we know what that process is like, and we all have a kinship in dealing with that level of hurt and that level of disappointment, even though our situations probably and the circumstances surrounding our divorce were very different for each one of us. But that hurt that comes along with that failed relationship is something that I think we all can identify with and understand that it's an ugly process getting past that.
Bro, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I fell into depression, and I kind of wanted to ignore it for several different reasons, but I ain't gonna lie. When I was going through my divorce, man, I really didn't want to do nothing. I didn't want to go to work, and as much as I love my kids, bro,
you hit rock bottom.
yeah, bro, I didn't even really want to get them because of the way I was feeling,
Right.
and because I had my mom and my sister, and I had my brothers, and my brother a trainer. He like, bro, He's like, bro, I ain't even really got no words to say to you, but I'm gonna tell you what helped me. Just get in the gym, bro. I'm gonna tell you, I didn't go to therapy, and I feel like I should. I went to therapy later on, but I think I should have did it right then and there. But that gym helped me, bro. Like after a couple weeks or a month, and I seen how my body looked and how it made me feel to go to the gym in the morning and get up and do some cardio and stuff like
Shut
that.
that door, baby.
I started feeling better about myself. You know what I'm saying? And it put me in a better mood. But it is some people out here that don't have, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that JJ Uncle didn't, but I can understand that situation, bro. Like, think about it. Somebody you love with all your heart, bro, that you don't put everything into this person. You ain't think about getting a divorce. You like, yo, I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with this person until I die, or they die first, or whatever, whatever the case may be. Once that divorce happened, bro, that whole idea of that, like Brent said, it goes away, bro. And then it's like if you up in the air and somebody shoots you out the air, you just falling and you ain't got no parachute. You know what I'm saying? Or like I
I
told my
mean,
brother, it's like you in a boat, right? And somebody poking holes at the bottom of that boat. You only got 2 arms. You can't fill all them holes up, and that boat just gonna sink. That's just how you be feeling, man.
I mean, bro, the feeling, bro. You know, even during the time that you're going through stuff, you you don't want to hear shit what nobody got to say, bro. You be angry, you be mad, you be depressed.
I don't know how many times I snapped at my mama,
My
bro.
bro, well, you know what? I'm not even gonna put him on blast, but somebody that was close to me, bro. I mean, bro, I, I I had to be there for him every day, no matter what I was doing. I had to pick that phone up
Check on me.
to talk to him. No, he was calling me,
Mm.
and see, and that's the thing, bro. Like, some people have some screwed up ass support systems out there. You go with your friend, that your homegirl that they gonna have you out at the club meeting these random niggas. Your homeboy have you out. You know what I'm saying? Reading these random chicks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's sort of like you introducing these people to drugs.
Yeah.
But you already know what's about to happen. A hurt person, they make the most mistakes.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, bro, I done been hurt one time. I was driving down the highway. I was supposed to be going to Birmingham and was going to Atlanta.
That
You
happened to
know
me.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you think about it, you wake up, you're like, damn, I was supposed to be going the other way. But this is the life, bro. You know, when I went through my divorce, my dad, you know, I was just getting out of the military, bro. Just like you said, Drew, it's like I mean, bro, you people never want to feel the pains, bro, like of loving somebody and then you loving somebody that they're gonna be super evil to your ass too. Like,
That, bro, when a person evil, that just add a whole nother level of stress that you wouldn't, because you like, sometimes I know for me, sometimes in my mind, I'm like, man, maybe if we spend a couple months apart and we talk, maybe we would be able to talk through things and maybe we'll be able to work it out. But
that
when
shit don't
somebody
work.
got their mind set on doing that, bro, it's nothing you can do. It's
Nothing.
nothing you can say, bro, to change their mind. They gone. They already done move forward with how they want their life to be and what they want to do. It ain't nothing you can do about it. You just gotta go through your situation and keep it pushing. But I'm gonna tell you, a lot of times, bro, and I can even see it for Brent. man, you go through that stuff and it make you a different person. Yeah, it's gonna make you more cautious in who you mess with going forward. And I think that's kind of a good thing as long as you don't put yourself in a situation where you bashing every woman or bashing every man or making them pay for what somebody else did to you, right? But it make you a different person. And then it puts you in a different space, right? Where you would end up eventually meeting the person you're supposed to be with. Because maybe
Or
you didn't have those intangibles or didn't go through, you know what I'm saying, whatever lesson you had to learn to be with that person you're supposed to be with, if that makes sense.
or or you get to the point of you realizing, all right, this how this motherfucker gonna be. And you gotta psych yourself out and say, hey, that motherfucker ain't love me anyway. You feel what I'm saying? I
And
mean,
That's real.
my brother told me, my brother told me about giving people your power. You give a person your power, and they see that they have that they have you right there. They gonna take advantage of it. They gonna treat you like a fucking monkey or a circus monkey at that point, because that's how some people do. Everybody don't move like that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, for the people out there that are hurting, that are going through things, just be smart about how you still approach these people, because if they making you feel like shit, it's a whole nother different situation.
Cause
Yep.
they'll not want to be with you, but because they know they got control over you emotionally, they'll do stuff, bro. They'll make you feel like y'all about to get back together and play you. Cause they'll be like, oh, I still probably can get some stuff out of this person. And they gonna do it because they know you still love them. You still do whatever, right? But until you realize that, like JJ said, man, I can't let this person have any power or any control over my emotions. Cause once that power dynamic shift, the ball ain't in their court no more. The
It's a
ball be
wrap.
in your court.
I think I think self realization is worth 1,000 prayers, and I think that that I hate to say it like this, but I think only until you done been through a certain level of heartbreak. I know this is especially true for men. Can you discern? Can you pick up on the cues and pick up on the signals and the signs of when you're headed down the wrong path with a woman, or and women could use this too. But I think that's just a important relationship, insight to have, because you can avoid those bad situations a lot earlier. But to me, unless you don't went through the heartbreak and been placed in these situations in which your love ain't being reciprocated, or you're not understanding certain things, you went throughout that reflection, you can say, okay, these are the signs I miss. So when I meet someone in that introduction and they're showing me these signs, maybe that's someone I need to avoid. But I also think it's important that you have the attitude that no matter who you come into contact with, and as you build a relationship, I think it's our task to summon the best out of them, and that's with giving, with making the sacrifice of ourselves. That hey, I'm gonna put myself out there, I'm gonna be vigilant, to the signs, but I'm gonna put myself out there because I want to summon the best out of them. You know what I mean? And then to me, that's all you could hope for in the end.
That's all you want.
All you could hope for in the end is to summon the best out of someone, even if they're a
Right.
bad person. They could be an absolute dirtbag, but when you enter a relationship with, you were able to summon the best they had to offer. And that's all you can ask for. But I watched a fight over the weekend. You know what I mean? Izzy versus Pereira. I don't know if anybody's seen that fight, but Izzy did this whole little rope a dope on him where he took pain. You know what I mean? He was letting this dude hit him, making the guy thinking he was hurt, sacrificing his body. But when that moment came, he just unleashed on him and knocked the guy out. But that just told me that You know the sacrifice was he had to be able willing to take a little pain. He had to put himself out there. You know what I mean, to get to reap the reward he wanted. You know, and I just think that even true in relationships. You have to be willing to give yourself to some and the best out of them. If you don't, then y'all both gonna end up shortchanged.
There's a saying in sports where the growth comes through the discomfort. You know what I mean? Through the struggle. You know, and I think that's what you're talking about, Brent. Is navigating the struggle is where the growth is. And you turn me on to a book, Brandon. I want to thank you for this, man. I'm about halfway through it, and it's Discipline is Destiny. And what it talks about, Brent, is you have to embrace the process. You got to love the process even more than you love the reward to accomplish anything great. And I think that's kind of also, what we're talking about here tonight is that you got to be willing, you got to be just as committed to get through the process of healing from the hurt so you can recover what you lost. Because I agree with you. You will lose a piece of yourself through every heartbreak and every failed relationship. But it's not beyond you to recover what you lost. And even when you come back, you can be an even better man because of what you lost in that relationship.
That's a fact. I agree with that.
I agree, bro. Man, I just wish, bro, you know, rest in peace on. I just wish that, he was strong enough, bro, not to kill himself, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, bro, I was a teenager then. You know, I was a teenager then, bro. Matter of fact, I was in the military. My first year in the military, and bro, I came home, man. Man, I know my family watching this, bro. Man, just R.I.P. Unc, man. I just hate that. You know, love took him out, bro.
It's more
Uh,
stuff about it.
wish you would have been strong enough to be able to overcome this shit, man. Still be here with us, and you know, but
But you right, JJ,
Yeah,
man. When you be going through it, you don't want to hear from nobody, bro. Like my mom used to be telling me, like, she like a couple years from now, man, you'll see the big picture. And I'm like, man, I ain't really trying to hear that. And I love my mama. Like, she talked to me every day, man. May she rest in peace. But when I was going through it, bro, I wasn't trying to hear nothing from nobody. And I couldn't see that light at the end of the tunnel. I could only see what was in front of me, probably about 5 feet, if that.
that,
Every day was a struggle. Every day
but
was I had to
but
get up,
Drewski,
push
I
myself.
think no,
Now go
I'm
ahead,
just
Rob.
saying. I think that miserable feeling. Sometimes we like wallowing in it when we going through it. I don't know what it is about that miserable feeling. Like you get to the point where you don't want to hear nothing positive. You don't want to hear about what's going to be going on in 6 months from now. You don't even want to deal with the future, so to speak. You just want to wallow in that misery. And
Right.
I don't know what that is, and maybe some of you
it's
therapists
weak.
and stuff.
It's weak, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, Rob, bro, heartbreaks have brought down villages and mountains and kingdoms, bro. Like, bro, love has brought down kingdoms, bro. Like,
Dynasties.
yeah, it ain't the fact that people want to be in it. It's the fact that, bro, you feel like you have nothing. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like you paralyzed from the brain down, bro. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that you're gonna be there forever, but some people be there forever. You know why? Some people, I mean, suicide, bro. Like, I mean, let's talk about this, bro. You know, people get to the point of they can't deal with these situations, bro. You know what I'm saying? And they take their life behind it, or they take the person life
I ain't gonna
and they
lie.
end up in prison for the rest of their life.
I contemplated it on myself. Um, that's how bad it got. But I also knew that God had a greater purpose for me, and I had two kids that I had to raise. And at the end of the day, man, I had to push through everything I was dealing with emotionally to make sure my youngins were straight. And that's all I kept thinking about was my kids. Like I ain't really, my feelings was hurt, man. I was definitely broken, but my kids is what really kept me going. You know what I'm saying? It's just my faith that I knew God was gonna turn it around. And bro, I can tell you this, man. Just after praying and nights of crying, and I think crying for men, that's just that weakness leaving your body, bro. And you got to get that out. You can't hold that in. And just doing all of that type of stuff, man. I think I woke up one day, bro, and I felt amazing. I was like, man, I feel good today. It was the first time in a long time, but I felt good. And I just kept going with that. And it just kept getting better and better. And then I got a job promotion. Then I was able to, get my spot. Bro, I started ascending to this level of myself that I never seen before. And when you start seeing that in yourself and other people start saying it, you like, dang, man, I'm on the right path. You know what I'm saying? Because other people gonna acknowledge it first before you even see it. We always see it last. Other people be like, dang, bro, like you doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? You like, what you mean, bro? I'm just getting up, going to work, man, taking care of my kids. But they see the glow. They see you know what I'm saying? They see you becoming this better version of yourself that you probably never will ever see before. And so it just take time, man. And I
Right.
think like when we going through it, we don't see it, like I said, but at the
I,
end of the day, once you start seeing it, it just keep building on it. It's like building blocks, bro. You keep building and keep building and keep building. Till
I
one day
think
you like, yo, I'm still that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my French, but for real, like you be feeling like, yo, I'm that dude. I feel like myself again. You know what I'm saying? Let me go out here. And I ain't necessarily saying date, but let me go out here and, man, get a couple ideas together, man. Talk to some homies, man. Let's start doing something. You know what I'm saying? I done seen, man, I got a homie that went through it too. My man got a business, he got a fiance, and he got a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like in the span of a couple years, and you would think that man would have been down, but nah, he hit the gym. My man lost weight. And I literally watched this man progression over the last 3 years, bro. And it's been like the most beautiful thing I ever seen in my life. So I tell them all the time, man, hey, bro, keep doing your thing, Brody, because a lot of people ain't able to do that. You know what I'm saying? So
I think what happened to us men in the midst of heartbreak, I think as a man, when you meet a woman, establish a relationship with her, even maybe have kids, you start taking ownership of the things around you. We even say that's my woman, these my kids, this my family, that's my girlfriend, that's my fiance. So you're taking some sense of ownership over it. And the more and more you say that, the more and more you're gonna tend to believe it. You know what I mean? And then when situations happen in the relationship, you don't go as you intended it to go. You start reflecting and saying, I think where a lot of men get trapped at is, you know, could there be a man out there who could make her happier than I am? Yeah, I could. You know what I mean? Could is there? When we get stuck. I think during heartbreak, you're just stuck, and there's a lot of thoughts going through your head of you having memories. It's almost like you're enslaved to the memories of the relationship. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And you're wondering like she's gonna have those experiences with someone else because, like I said, in the midst of a relationship, you're taking ownership of these things.
right.
When I think when a person reaches a real point of healing is when they're able to say, Rock said the realest shit I have ever heard a man say. You know what I mean? And to me, it was the purest form of love that I've seen in a long time. And it's when he said that, you know, if his wife was to walk away from him today, he wouldn't feel shortchanged at all. You know what I mean? And that was one of the most purest forms of love I've heard a man speak in a long time, because it's like he was able to love her and not feel like he owned her. You know what I mean?
That's the
And
dumbest
and,
shit I
and,
ever heard.
and knowing, but what I'm saying, knowing that there could come a day in which, you know, she can walk away, but he you know, he could take away the experiences him and his wife shared all the way up to that point, and hold on to that, and that be enough. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, to me, JJ.
No, no, no. I mean, bro, I'm not saying that against you, dog. Keep on talking,
No. To me, that
bro. It's okay for you and Rock to have this bond like that.
no. What I'm saying, that was the most purest forms of love that I ever heard. I mean, that I seen displayed. You know what I mean? Through a man articulating it to a group of people. You know what I mean? Because I think in relationships we feel like we own people. You know what I mean? We feel like this person is belongs to us, and when it doesn't go the way we intended to go, now we feel like that person owe us something, like they're in debt to us, like they cheated us out of something. You know what I mean? When that may not be the situation. There's conflicting ideas. There's things that we weren't compatible. You know, I spoke of the seasons. You know, maybe we came across a season that we just wasn't compatible. You know what I mean? And chose to go our separate ways. Does that make the person a bad person? Does that make them evil? You know what I mean? You know, and sometimes you know, I hate relationships being broke down to good guys and bad guys when it's two people having an experience together, not putting blind trust in something that they don't know where it's gonna go, and just hoping for the best. You know, I mean, how y'all feel about that? If I'm wrong, tell me.
Well. That, Brent, I wanted to acknowledge this point about my wife in particular. The 20 years we've been together, I don't think she'd have shortchanged me, our family, our community in any way. And though if, you know, Dexter come up here and they ride off into the sunset and they phantom, you know, I'm gonna be hurt. I'm probably gonna roll around and cry, maybe even chase
Okay,
the car as they
okay.
drive
Talk
away.
about that. Talk about that because Brent skipped to the to the point of you just like, hey, Dex, go ahead and do your thing, buddy. You know, it's your turn now.
Nah,
No,
I'm
no,
not saying
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you did. You went straight from if she leave me, you know, she don't owe me nothing. No, you know, I'm just gonna watch her ride off to the sunset with Dexter.
I mean, I hate if that's how I made it sound, but
But you did.
yeah, I'm not the best at articulating
I
my
was shaking
thoughts.
my
You know
head
what I mean?
behind that, bro. Like, bro. See, this is a situation here, bro. Y'all be trying to sound like y'all so hard when it comes to stuff that y'all be talking about, bro.
No,
But
man.
but the realness is if I'm married to my wife and I love my wife, I don't want to see her with nobody else. Period.
Of course, I think that goes without saying, JJ. I don't think that's.
Period.
I think that goes without saying.
And I'm not gonna high five nobody
Yeah,
for
that ain't what I was trying to
taking my
say.
wife and riding off
I,
and he being her king. No, bro.
Nah, that wasn't
I
how
was
it
just
is.
I was just speaking up to this point. I feel my wife is giving our family, giving me everything that she has to offer, man. And I would, you know, thank her for it. Now, again, we don't own each, and this, I'm a firm believer in this. So we don't own each other. We don't own one another. Like,
But y'all keep talking about this word, bro. Y'all keep bringing up these words, bro. That really don't. It's like y'all try to make these words seem so strong, bro. Like, bro, nobody, everybody understands what a relationship is. Everybody understands what commitment is. So if y'all think commitment is ownership, nah, bro.
That-
Nah, I wasn't trying to call it ownership. I think people reach a scary place in relationships. And I think that scary place is when they feel like they strip that person choice away of furthering their happiness. You know what I mean? Furthering whatever they want to do. You know, you have to understand in a relationship that option is always there for a person. That option and whatever they give to you is a give each and every single day. You know, what they give to you is it's not guaranteed, it's not promised, it's something that they voluntarily are doing. You know what I
absolutely,
mean? And
absolutely.
I just think that I think with the mindset that I'm going to cherish that. I'm gonna cherish that feeling every single day that this person is voluntarily giving their love to me every single day. I think it puts us in a position to reciprocate that same love back, but not only that, not
Not
expect,
ever take it for granted. Not ever take it for granted.
you're not ever taking it for granted. You know what I mean?
Hold on. But ain't that's the reason why you get into relationships to not take it for granted? I'm trying to understand something. And if you start taking it for granted, that means you don't really want to be in a relationship no more.
I mean, I know what sounds good in practice, but I know
No,
I know
honestly,
what happens
JJ,
in the
I see.
sandbox.
How y'all talking?
Honestly,
How y'all
JJ, I
talking?
hear we
Y'all
hear
talking
people talk about we see people hear people talk about relationships in some form of servitude all the time. Like, my man is gonna have to do this for me. He gonna have to do that for me. If he gonna be my man, he got to do this. He got to do that. And the same thing with men. My woman's supposed to do this. My woman's supposed to do that. They talk in terms of this person has some overarching obligation to serve them in a capacity that they see fit, rather than what the person who's doing the service sees fit. That's what I'm saying.
But this the thing, bro. If a person is that way, then that person has an issue with being in control. But bro, bro, a relationship is not control. A relationship is love. It's caring. It's going through those issues, those up and down, and being able to work them out. You know what I'm saying? But what y'all spewing right now is some propaganda that
No,
99%
what
of
I'm
the
saying,
people
a
out
lot of
here ain't trying to hear.
what I'm saying, JJ, a lot of people see relationships as a form of control, whether you want to accept that or not. I know that's not what real love is. I know
They
that,
talk about
but
it, Rock.
yes,
Yeah,
They
and that's all I'm
hold
saying.
on one second. Hold on one second. They talk about it, but at the same time, if a person,
like
but,
you heard men in our room say, "My woman can't have no male friends."
bro, that's talk, bro. But you don't hear they woman said, well, he can't have no damn female friends either. And that said a lot in
I
relationship.
I think
But
it's
but
up to
but
the
but if that's how they organize their relationship and it works for them, then how can we call that control?
Okay.
I know what sounds good in practice, and I know how things really go down in the sandbox. You know what I mean? And I think that, yes, we like to believe that two people enter a relationship only to love each other, only to sacrifice for one another. But we know when people get into relationships, you start to take ownership of each other. Things starting to become more, less voluntary and more expected. You know what I mean? You start to
What's that acronym? WIMP. I think people have it in relationships, have this cycle all the time. It's called WIMP. What's in it for me? And they
right.
go in relationships looking at it from that perspective. Hey, what's in it for me? Not about what I can give, but what's in it for me.
Yeah, I mean that's true. A lot of people are very selfish about their feelings in relationships. That's facts. But those are the people that, if you can't align with those people, how they are, you need to get the hell up out of there.
And
You know what I'm
and
saying?
and I think people, and this is just something, I'll just wake this up before we wrap up, right? And maybe this is a whole nother topic altogether. But I think people who come out of hurt adopt really selfish practices in pursuing their next relationship to kind of prevent from being hurt, to try to keep from being hurt. They they think they can manage whether they get taken advantage of or cheated on or whatever the case may be by being in control of the situation. And I don't believe that's true. I don't think you can manage that. You got
And,
to
and,
make
and
yourself vulnerable, and you got to open yourself up to it and realize it could happen again, and there's really not shit you can do about it.
yeah, and right, and that's all I'm saying, and that's why I felt so
Bro,
much.
what are y'all talking about?
And that's all I'm saying, and that's why I felt so much what you said, because to me, you're in a good space in a relationship when you can give without looking at what's being returned. You know what I mean?
No, no, no,
And
no,
and
no. That's not what he just said, though, Brent. He just said you got to make yourself vulnerable to already know that you might be cheated on.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you're gonna know what I'm saying is, if you're gonna go, if you've been hurt, right, and you want to pursue another relationship, to have love in its truest form again, you're gonna have to open yourself up to have love again. And and you can't open yourself up and be selfish, and you can't do this, you can't do that. You can't put the person in a glass box or a glass prison in hopes that they won't hurt you again. You got to accept the fact that when you open up to them, they possibly could. They could. You just be the best version or the best person you can be. That's the only thing you can control is yourself in the relationship.
That's true.
You can't control the other person. And I find that listen to people, maybe I have poor hearing, but I hear people, a lot of people, when they talk about relationships and even the relationships they want, it's not about how I'm gonna regulate myself, it's about how I'm gonna regulate the other person. And I just don't think that's a good way to go into a relationship of
See,
trying to
see,
regulate
see,
somebody else.
and see when you break it down that way, I think people will listen to that right there.
Okay.
But just going in and saying, "Well, you just make yourself vulnerable, and you may be cheated on, bro." How many hurt people gonna listen to that shit, bro?
well, 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 I was saying I okay. I understand how you can take that as being a negative thing, JJ, if someone is in a hurt place, right? To
Y'all
love
just
is
making it
to
seem like y'all just these hardcore dudes, though. Dog.
no, ain't no. Hey, look at here. I
I
I
definitely
got
ain't
I
hardcore.
got a pillow at my mama house with a whole bunch of tears on it, just like everybody else had. You know what I mean? And my mama probably ain't even washed the tear stains out of it. But the point of it is, bro, is I'm just saying you gotta open up and you gotta be willing to love again.
It,
In order to do that, you gotta you gotta focus on yourself and being the person you can be. You
well,
know, that person you can be.
I'm definitely not trying to come off as hardcore. I mean, these are lessons I learned. I felt like in some of my past relationships, I gave with the wrong spirit. You know what I mean? I made sacrifices with the wrong spirit, just as Cain did in the Bible. You know what I mean? He made sacrifices with the wrong spirit. And I realized if I had made sacrifices with the spirit of Abel, attended to making sure that every sacrifice I made was pure, made sure every sacrifice I made was good. I felt like doing it that way, I would always been on the right side. And I try, I'm trying to be more spiritual, but I would have been on the right side of God. You know what I mean? In those investments, because I'm giving with a whole heart, with pure intentions, and I'm not giving because I think when you start really evaluating your sacrifice like that, especially in a relationship, you really find yourself in a place of giving the bare minimum. You know what I mean? You're giving. I'm giving enough to see. Oh, let me see what she gives back. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna do this for her. Let me see how she responds. You're evaluating every sacrifice you make, hoping to get the outcome you want. You know what I mean? When all is well, you give with a pure spirit. You give with a pure heart. You know what I mean? I just don't see, like I said earlier, you're gonna summon the best out of that person. You know what I mean? You got whoever that person is, you're gonna summon the best out of them. And I think at the end of the day, you find out if that's enough for you. And you make decisions based off that. But I'm just speaking from mistakes I know I made.
There's a poem I read when I was probably in middle school or maybe in high school, and the poem got a verse in it that I didn't understand that I didn't understand till much later in life. And the verse, paraphrase, excuse me if I mess it up, but the paraphrase the verse, it says, if you experience love, you have to let it go. And if it comes back to you, it's yours. And if it doesn't, it never will. Right? I didn't understand it when the 14, 15, 16-year-old Rocky didn't understand that. But as a 53-year-old man, I certainly understand the sentiment that the poet was trying to convey when they wrote that line. Right?
Yeah, but whenever that poet wrote that, they ain't have social media and POF and Facebook dating and all these different things that you let your love slip away. Some other nigga gonna be, So
no. But see, you looking at it the wrong way. What I'm saying is, what he was saying is, you can't hold on to the love and squeeze the life out of it. You gotta let the love flow all over you like a shower, like a shower, and let it just fall off. Don't be trying to catch and hold the water. Just let the love just drench all over you. And each and every time the love will continue to flow all over your body. I think that's what it means. Like it's not something you can even hold. Can you hold water in your hand? Can you hold water in your hand?
Yeah.
Man, Ghost said something. Ghost said that Rock is prepping folks for heartbreak. Let me give folks a wake up call, a rude awakening. If you can't handle heartbreak, then you ain't ready for love. You know what I mean? You in the wrong business. You just in the wrong goddamn business. You know what I mean? If you can't, if heartbreak scares you and fear, to the point where you can't handle it, and it's just something that you want to stay away from altogether, don't get in the love business. You know what I mean? Because people are going to disappoint you.
I disagree.
You know?
I think.
Hey, let me tell you a quick story. I know a dude.
No, hold on, time out. Your stories ain't quick. Let me just say this right quick. Let me just say this right quick. I think that if you are afraid of love, don't try to fall in love with nobody, because sometimes when you are afraid of love, you push people away by being, I guess insecure or trying to find some out on people. That's what I was gonna say to that. That's why I disagree with you, Brent.
And this is what all I want to say. I read a story about a man who had a tracker on his wife, had a curfew on her, and a private eye, and he still lost his woman.
That's the problem.
Well, this
I just said that. I just said if you're not ready for love,
so he wasn't ready for love.
That person wasn't ready for love.
No, what I'm saying,
because he went into a situation or something happened within that marriage for this person to want to go to those extremes to make sure that his wife wasn't doing something that she wasn't supposed to be doing. That's an extreme, bro.
well,
What y'all keep talking about is some stuff I don't know.
I go to work every day knowing one day someone can get pissed off and I could lose my job. But I go to work, I fulfill my tasks, I do my tasks accordingly. You know what I mean? A ball player, Kobe Bryant, he goes on the court and gives it his all, knowing that he can lose in the outcome. The point of what I was trying to say, you make the sacrifice despite the outcome. You get what I'm saying? And if you only in it to win, then you're in the wrong game. You know what I mean? Because there's no guarantees in life. There's no guarantees.
You just compare love to
because it's all related. It's all related. You go out there and you do your best despite what the outcome is.
But bro, you don't practice to lose, bro.
You don't practice to lose. You don't practice to lose. Yes, you practice to win, but losing. Losing
is part of the game.
Losing is a possible outcome.
Right, but Rock, this is my thing. Breaking up is a part of the game, but you don't practice trying to break the fuck up.
I mean, I never have.
But what if someone win a date game saying that the only guys I'm gonna date is the ones that don't break up with me? You know what I mean? The only guys I'm gonna date. How many guys is you're gonna be able to find with the guarantee this guy doesn't break up with you? You know what I mean? You know that what I'm saying, JJ. You know that is a viable outcome. You know what I mean? I ain't saying you're playing to it. You're playing to win. In this whole thing, you're playing to win. But if you're only playing to win, then I mean, you're.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this here, Brent. Brent, let me just say this, JJ. I'm gonna be honest with you on this. This is something that my observation about love, right? The woman that you know that will love you no matter what, the woman that walks up to you in Walmart and tell you, JJ, I'll love you forever no matter what you do. I'll love you to the end of time, whatever. You won't love her, JJ. You won't love her because of some other reason other than the fact that she won't break up with you. There's something else that we don't really want love unless there's a risk. We don't want it unless there's a risk. Unless
that's a lot. How does that make sense?
I think it's some truth in it.
How does that make sense?
So I'm gonna tell you this. Y'all all seen Family Matters, right? Urkel loved Laura, right?
Show.
He loved Laura Dirty Draws. And he was gonna always love Laura. Laura could cuss him out, call him names, make fun of him. Urkel was gonna love her anyway, but she didn't want that love. She wanted the love of somebody that everybody else wanted to. And therefore there was a risk involved in loving that man because he was a desirable person. My point in saying that is love is a concept that we all cherish, but if it's too sure, if it's too certain, if it's too much of a guarantee, we don't want it.
bro, that's some bullshit, bro.
I'm just
Bro,
telling you, man.
let me tell you this. My daddy said when I mean, bro, y'all just took the Bible out of it. The way y'all talking, y'all just took the whole Bible out of it. My daddy said, when I met your mama, I knew she was my wife, and I knew we was gonna be together forever. Bro, he ain't going there saying, when I met your mama, I thought I'd probably be there for a little bit. It it may not work. It may not do this and that. Nah, bro. Once you get in a relationship, you constantly have to work. A relationship is just the word. You got to put in the work at this point, bro. That's and that's that practice that I'm trying to tell young light skinned Brent about. The practice of being in a relationship is you go through these things, you go through these issues, y'all can work them out. But everybody has their boundaries, though.
You know, my son, since we telling stories here, my son had called me one day before a basketball game. And I'll make it real quick. He called me one day before a basketball game and said, "Dad, two of our best starters ain't starting tonight. You know what I mean? It's just really me. I'm the only real point scorer we have on the team. We in the, we're in the their playoffs." And he was like, "I know we're gonna lose." I said, "Boy, as long as you're on the court, you know what I mean? Y'all always have a chance to win. You don't place your odds. So, you go out there and be a dog no matter what. You know what I mean? And if you lose, sometimes you put up your best performance in defeat. You know what I mean? So, and that's just the way the game is. But I'm not playing to lose. I understand that it's a viable outcome. I'm playing to win, and that's what I'm saying. If I'm thinking, if I got the outcome in my head cemented, that I whether win or lose, I don't think you should go in the game thinking you're gonna lose. But if I have whatever outcome cemented in my head, it's gonna do something to my dedication. It's gonna do something to my sacrifice.
Your
You know what I
effort.
mean? It's gonna do something to my effort. You know what I mean? And I just like I said, we could have opposing ideas. You know, I have my ideas. Rock has his ideas.
Bro,
JJ and Drewski got their ideas.
I'm not
It,
arguing. I'm not arguing with your ideas. I'm disagreeing with what you're saying,
Hey,
which is
hey,
okay.
JJ. Hey, JJ, man. Uh, my my LA LeBrons are playing right now, and
We about to wrap it up right now.
okay.
Yeah. So go ahead and give your last little.
Hey, man. This is a great conversation. Ultimately, is
We'll do
I
a
do
part two
agree.
about this, bro.
I do agree with you guys. Each relationship takes something out of a man and woman. However, if you go through the process of healing, you most certainly can recover it, and even there's possibility that you can become a better person, a better lover, a better friend. Uh, once you properly heal. My name is Rocky, and I'm done speaking.
Brent, what up? Talk to me, Brent.
Hey man, I think if Abel knew he was going to heaven, his sacrifices wouldn't been as much. You know what I mean? And I think the reason he gave with a full heart, you know what I mean, because it wasn't so much whether he was going to heaven or hell. He just loved giving. You know what I mean? It was he was just that type of man. And I think that's what you have to fall in love with, the giving part. You know what I mean? That I'm going to summon the best out of someone. No, despite win, lose, or indifferent, I'm gonna summon the best out of by what I can give. You know what I mean? And I think when you do it that way, you're in a good space. In a
And you're supposed to
relationship.
give to, and you're supposed to give till it hurts.
And you know, I think that's all love is. You know, I mean, I think the cousin of love is given. You know, and you know, I think that's just what it is. And I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I find out the hard way, like I did every other lesson I ever got. So, hey man, this ain't a score. Brent on all social media platforms. Follow the Sexy Cigar Lounge on all social media platforms. Tell us up in Clubhouse, man. We be talking this shit every day, man. It's back to you, Jay.
Drew Dog, what you got, man?
Hey man, look. I think a lot of times, man, we make plans for situations and those plans don't always turn out the way we planned them. You know what I'm saying? Things happen in life, you know what I mean? And I would encourage men, like, I know people say vet and all that stuff, but you just gotta be positive, man. You gotta be on top of your game. Do what you can do, right? Like Rock said, I mean, Rock kind of got a point. It's kind of weird, but he do got a point. It's like if you loved your wife to the best of your abilities, bro, and she wanted to walk away, I mean, what really can you do? You know what I'm saying? You gonna be hurt, but ain't nothing really you can do about that. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't even know what to say, but I don't want nobody to be out here like if they are going through it currently, or if somebody does go through it, I don't want them to feel like they won't make it through, because you will make it through. And you know, I even gave like what happened to me. And even though I couldn't, like I said, even though I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, it is one, bro. And you will be able to bounce back. And I feel like the way you went through that hurt, the way you come out on the other end, you'll be better for it, for real, for real. Make sure y'all follow us on all social media platforms at the Sexy Cigar Lounge. Subscribe to the channel. Hey, click that bell for the notification, man. We got more shows. I can't wait for part 2. So I think for part 2, man, I'm gonna have to get a little bit more information. I want to bring some heat to the conversation. So yeah, man. Subscribe to the channel, follow us. We got more heat. JJ, appreciate you for having this platform so we can speak on these situations, man. And I hope everybody that watched, or the people that's gonna come and watch this show, that they learn some valuable information from it. So back to you, JJ.
Hey, man, I'm gonna say this, man. Shout out to my dog Shad for you know what I'm saying, tighten me up, man. Shout out to you, boy. The cousin of love, Brent, I think is work. Without work, you can't have no love. That's what I think. You know what I'm saying? So, great conversation. I appreciate Rock and Brent for doing exactly what they do every day.
Hey, man. You know, there's a say. I don't know what Bible verse it is for JJ. I want to say this before I leave. I can't remember what scripture or book is found in, but the scripture goes something like this here: if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. And if being right means being without you, I would rather be wrong than right. Y'all gonna be able to tell me what Bible verse that is. Somebody gonna know what Bible verse that is, but yeah, that's what love is right there. That's the epitome of love right there.
Yes, sir, bro. Hey, man. Hey, shout out to everybody that watched tonight. Shout out to all of our new subscribers. Shout out to all of the people that shared this live. Please share it tomorrow with your coworkers. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all guys for coming on again, man. We're gonna discuss this thing when we hit the end button. So peace out.